Good afternoon, all. You're welcome to Going Digital Nigeria debut section. We hope that it's going to be a very insightful session to assist us, our viewers and audience on social media when we post the videos, and other Nigerian businesses to be able to achieve digitization, especially at this time of COVID-19 when everybody is saying, okay, use technology. Of course, we knew before now that using technology was good. And technology has made a lot of things effective. For instance, our mobile phones, it has made communication effective. For instance, our software, our website, our shops online, our social media has made communication effective, made a lot of things effective, made sales effective. So we cannot deny that technology will help us during this time of COVID-19 and will always be there as Africa develops and as Nigeria develops. So it's good that we all start to embrace it now because it's something that is there to help us. And it's not just because of the COVID-19. We need to be able to operate effectively in our businesses with the best technology tools. So I'm now going to share my screen. Okay. So I will introduce myself right now. I've already introduced the topic. My name is Vivian Chigozie-Nmonwu. I'm a co-founder and partner with VM Professional Solutions. So VM is a tax audit and advisory services firm. We render professional services to assist businesses to make business easy for them so they can focus on what is important, which is running their business. So we provide support services. And we also provide technology tools, software tools to help businesses power their processes and make things easy for them. So we have some technology tools under our belt, our proprietary technology. For instance, our tax law book that was first developed and issued on the stores in 2015. And it was the first ever tax law book, tax law app to collate all the tax laws in a mobile app to make it easy for people to read, navigate, search terms, carry around instead of the big tax laws or big laws of the Federation in hardcover. We made it easy on mobile. So we also have an HR website that helps people connect job seekers with employers. And it also provides a lot of other features and tools to assist talent generally. It's called VM Talent Assist. We also have VM Tax Assist we developed to help small businesses with VAT, withholding tax, and the PAYE. A lot of small businesses have used it to calculate payroll and download pay slips for their employees. And then, we also have, in conjunction with the MSME Crowdfunding Foundation, which our partners also founded, we have the www.fundandenterprise.org, which is a crowdfunding website to assist businesses raise funds. So those are technology tools that we have under our belt, and we have partners, technology partners that we also use their software to facilitate businesses. So in the next, Going Digital Nigeria is a series of webinars on using technology to power businesses. So we're going to have 7 series like we've explained before. Today we're just going to talk about going digital generally. What do you need to know? What does it entail? How does it help your business? What are the pitfalls? Where should you start from? If you're just starting with digitalization of process, where should you start from? What are the best practices? How do you find developers, or how do you find software tools? What is Africa's or Nigeria's readiness for digitization and all that? So it's just a general guide to be provided by able panelists. And then we'll also talk about the major functions, finance, that is the finance function of businesses. So we have speakers for accounting and tax tools that you can use to digitize your finance function, because finance is the backbone of every business. The business is about the numbers. It's about profit, incomes, assets, costs. That is just business. So if you want to power your business, you have to start from technology tools to power your finances. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about tax, because tax is an integral part of finance and business. As you're making money, you're paying tax and you're paying other obligations. So we're going to talk about digital tax tools with a case study of Lagos State Internal Revenue Service. So I'm now going to introduce our panelists. The first panelist here is Iyinolula Aboyeji. He's the co-founder at Future Africa, a venture capitalist platform, Andela, which is an organization that helps, that employs and trains a lot of developers to help them to digitize, help other businesses to achieve digitalization. And then Flutterwave is a payment gateway that solves the problem of payments in Africa. Before then, it was a lot of hitches here and there for you to receive payments from abroad or to transfer payments. If you didn't have a PayPal account, you couldn't even transfer payment out, and you can't receive from PayPal because PayPal doesn't send payments to Nigeria. So it was an issue until Flutterwave and Paystack and the like and InterSwitch started doing things in that space. So Iyinolula is the founder of these companies, co-founder of these companies, and he also served as deputy director for Madam Obieze presidential campaign. He helped to build Andela and Flutterwave, two of Africa's largest and fastest growing technology companies backed by global investors. Iyinolula, more popularly known as E, holds a bachelor's degree in legal studies from the University of Waterloo and is a World Economic Forum Young Global Leader. He also sits on the board of a number of corporate and non-profit organizations and advises a number of national and subnational governments across Africa on how to support high growth, innovation-driven enterprises in their domain. And then the second panelist, able panelist, Orienru Igho Otejiri. He's an assistant director, personal income tax at LIRS. Igho is a seasoned tax administrator, trained human resources management consultant, and experienced resource person. Igho is a specialist in leadership, strategy, and organizational development. He's a peak performance coach, author, and change agent, and has led and participated in several projects on tax administration, corporate strategic plans development, process reengineering, business startups, retreats, organizational design, and performance improvement for various organizations in the public and private sectors of the economy. He's an accounting graduate, a certified national accountant, holds 3 master's degrees, MBA, MMP, and MSc, an alumnus of Hagai Institute, Singapore, and member of several professional bodies, including the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CITN, where he's a fellow and currently a member of the Governing Council. Today, he would highlight various digital platforms that the LIRS have put in place and why and how businesses need to utilize this. We will also share some perspective as to the various palliatives, inclusive of the Finance Act 2019 that the LIRS have created to support MSMEs to continue to win. And then the third panelist is Marcus Rose. He's a partner manager, EMEA at Xero Accounting. Xero is a cloud-based accounting software focusing on small and medium-sized businesses. The software helps over 2 million plus active users all over the world to run their finance operations from the cloud. Xero, the company has 3 offices in New Zealand, 6 offices in Australia, 3 offices in the UK, 3 offices in the United States, as well as offices in Canada, Singapore, Hong Kong, and South Africa. In Marcus' role, he manages business partner integration, onboarding, and expansion into new regions. Marcus will be speaking on how businesses can successfully run their operations from the cloud and the role that a cloud accounting software can play in Nigeria, salient features of Xero, support structure, need for Xero advisor and accountant, among others. Okay. So Now we're going to now hand over. I'll stop sharing for now, and we're going to hand over to our panelists. I'd like to check if, okay.
Yes, Iyi is there.
Okay. So thank you for joining us, Iyi. Are you able to say hello to our viewers, please, before we continue?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. This is me. This is Ian. Thank you for having me on here today. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we can't.
Awesome.
Are you using your video?
Okay. Let me put on the. Sorry, I didn't realize. Can you see me now?
Yes,
okay.
We're really happy that you're here with us. You know. Okay, let me not just say anything else. So, your time now.
No problems. I'm happy to be here as well.
So please share your wealth of experience, because I don't know who else knows it better than you, about how businesses can digitalize their business processes or go digital successfully. What do you have to share from your wealth of experience? What should we know? Is Africa ready? Is Nigeria ready? You know, and the pitfalls of using technology, how it helps our businesses now and maybe after COVID-19.
Yeah.
So I'll leave the floor for you.
I'll share some thoughts, but yeah, I'll share some thoughts, but I really think that where we'll get the gems is when we start with the interaction in the question and answer. So hopefully we've made some arrangements for question and answer. But I'll share some thoughts. I think the first question of whether we're ready or not, quite honest, we don't have a choice. As we all know, the world has changed. Even if we're going back to business, the idea that we'll go back to business the way we did it before COVID-19 is unlikely, right? Because, you know, COVID-19 happened, and a lot of us have now, at least those of us in larger organizations particularly, and even smaller organizations, we've all gone home, started working from home, seen the productivity lift, seen the cost savings. It would be foolish for us, while we know our competitors are looking for ways to adapt and improve and be more productive with their business using technology, for us to then go the old routes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I feel like I'm losing. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, fantastic. So there's no going back when it comes to the use of technology for us doing our businesses. But it's very important for us to think carefully about how we start and sustain the use of technology in doing business, because it's very important. And many people make mistakes in the rush to leverage technology. I want to start maybe by knocking down some preconceived notions about the use of technology. The first preconceived notion that I often see from business owners is this idea that you have to own all the technology that you use. I don't think that's correct. My experience when it comes to leveraging technology is that you're better off finding the best platform, that is people who are dedicated to the use of that technology and adopting the technology they've built, rather than expending valuable time and human resources building your own. I see businesses, especially small businesses, make this mistake a lot. You know, you would rather build your own ERP system. You would rather build your own accounting system, and it's just a waste of effort. There's so many great accounting systems out there, both local and international, that you can leverage, and you should always be looking for opportunities to leverage. You don't have to build your own e-commerce sites if you can use Jumia. You don't have to, sometimes it's better for you to leverage what other people are doing. So that's the first kind of big myth. The second big myth that I see a lot of people adopt when it comes to the use of technology is that you have to change everything all at once. And it has to be a complex, long process. You will see some people go and hire change management professionals just so they can implement technology in their workplace. And it doesn't have to really be like that, business. And gradually start to identify the areas that can be easily digitized versus the areas that cannot. And then have a plan for how long-term they can be digitized. So for example, take a store, for example, right? Store inventory counts, you know, we haven't yet designed technology that can do store inventory counts. I'm sure it will exist very soon, but it's not there yet. So how do you start to use technology as a store? Well, first of all, can you even start by listing some products on e-commerce platforms? It's very easy. It's an additional stream of revenue for you. It doesn't change anything, right, for you. It allows you to reach customers that cannot come to your store. That's number one. Number two, can you even use technology to maintain basic financial records about your business? So you look at QuickBooks and so on and so forth. Very simple technologies that are available that you can simply use to maintain basic records about your business, right? So that's how you start. It doesn't necessarily mean that you must buy laptops for everybody. You must start to code, build a technology team, blah, blah, all at once. In my experience, most of the last night, it's just one step. It's things you can make a phone call now and do. I was talking to a business owner last night, and he was saying he really wants to digitally transform his company. And he was showing me a plan for McKinsey and all that. And I said, sir, this thing that you want to do, here's where you can start. And it won't even take you time. You can use your existing technology, you can use your existing systems, and you will still be digitizing, and you can learn. So that's another big thing. Number three, taking data very seriously. You see, a lot of business owners, when I have conversations with them, okay, we want to build an e-commerce site. Okay, what is it going to target? Oh, everybody in Nigeria. Well, everybody in Nigeria is not yet connected to the internet. So you cannot start an e-commerce site and say you are targeting everybody. You have to have a specific target in mind. Now, the reality is that target will likely be informed by data. Are you keeping any records about your customers? Do you know the kind of people that buy from you? Do you know the kind of suppliers that you have success with? Do you know who your best supplier is? Do you know who your best buyer is? These are the kind of questions that technology and data can help you answer. So take data very seriously if you are a business owner that is looking to go digital. Part of what technology affords you the ability to do is not using your memory or using your human emotion, but being able to collect hard and cold facts about the way your business works or should be working, so that you are able to compare and contrast. Then the other thing is staying safe. It's important. People think digital is dangerous, and it can be. That's the honest truth. But there are many ways to stay safe online. The first thing that a lot of people do is, rather than buy proper tools, you know, a lot of businesses buy tools that are not, they are pirated, or they are not original, you know. Instead of paying for the actual tool, they'll be looking for a free way to get it. You know, the problem really is that when you do those things, you think you are reducing costs for your business, but you are introducing security costs to your business. So try as much as possible to buy the right software the right way. You know, don't go and use a corrupted version of QuickBooks and then start crying that somebody corrupted your account, because these are some of the tools that fraudsters and hackers use to get into your systems. People that want free things. You know, in my language, you say, I will they run belle, and it's true. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to be very, very perceptive as a business owner. Make sure you do things properly. Make sure you buy the correct licenses from the appropriate store, you know, so that you can do things properly. And then I'll leave you with this last thought, which is always consider how simple tools can help you grow your business. So I'll use the example of Instagram. Many business owners are not on social media, but this is where most of businesses are today. So if you are a business owner, you're not using Instagram, nobody knows who you are on Facebook, you don't have a profile on Twitter, and those things, if you even have them, they're not professionally managed. You're using them to comment on controversial issues, using the same thing to serve your customer. You know, Simple things can help you. Using WhatsApp to manage customer service, very simple thing that can help you, you know? So it doesn't have to be very complex. It doesn't have to be very difficult. It doesn't have to be very expensive. It can just be using simple tools and then growing in your knowledge, always reading what are other businesses like me doing in other parts of the world. Which parts of this can I adopt? Which parts of this can I not adopt? And at the end of the day, just to round up, it really rests on our mindsets. See, a lot of people don't have the mindset that digital matters for their business, that they need to digitally transform. Well, the market will show you. There's no way I can convince you. But the reality is that, if you are able and you have the interest in transitioning your business to digital, there are so many resources on the internet that can help you, and it's very simple for you to do. And so I guess with that, we'll just, I'll end here and then we can take questions. Hello?
Yeah, Vivian,
are you there?
Sorry, I have unmuted myself now.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, so can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. Yeah, I can see you clearly.
You actually did justice to that in very, I think it's less than 5 minutes, and you've covered practically everything that we ourselves have also encountered while trying to embrace technology and provide technology. So if I could recap, EE is big on simplicity. You're not a software engineer, you're not a software developer. So go simple, use simple tools like WhatsApp, social media, use other people's platforms, because that's not what you went into business to do. I think the technology is just a tool for you to use, not for you to go and invest in, unless you now want to go into tech full time. So, and you need to be prepared, you have to have the capacity for it. So go simple, use other tools, and go genuine. Don't use pirated software, which is what is happening in so many places, and take your numbers and data very seriously. Don't just operate blindly. So that's the summary for me. So I have only 2 questions for Iyi, and
yeah,
please, the floor is open for everyone who wants to ask questions. You can use the Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom screen and post your questions, or you can even post it on the chat room. So please, time to ask your questions while I go ahead with mine. So the first question I have for is developers. You know, when we wanted to do the technology tools to help businesses, we had issue with developers. We found out that, you know, any simple thing you ask, in fact, it was even an issue of telling the developer what you wanted and him not going away with your blueprint. I don't know whether that was our paranoia, but it happened like to us like 5 times. We finished explaining, giving diagrams. We never heard from those people again, and it was so expensive to get developer. And eventually, when we started risking to use local developers, they were not giving us the same. You know, when you explain something to somebody, he doesn't really understand it. The quality is not there. So we had to go to outside of Nigeria to look for developers on different platforms. Search, you know, it was really difficult. So I don't know whether there is a provision for what.
Yeah. Yeah, my experience, you know, I used to run a developer shop. We have about 3,000 developers. You see, what the critical error I see a lot of businesses make is, you know, there's a big difference between going to a hospital and going to a pharmacist. You understand? If you are sick, you can go to a pharmacist, but a pharmacist will give you a drug. He's not necessarily going to diagnose you well. He doesn't have the tools to do it, not the understanding. But if you are sick and you go to a hospital, it may cost you more money. You understand? Let me not even use pharmacy, let me use chemists, because that's what we call them. Pharmacists usually will tell you to go to the hospital. But if you go to a chemist will just give you Panadol and tell you it's just malaria. Take Panadol, take this. No matter what it is, it's malaria. But if you go to a hospital, they'll properly diagnose you, but it might cost you a little bit more and then discover what's really wrong with you before they prescribe. A lot of when you decide you want to invest in a developer or in technology in that way, it's a major investment. You won't start a building without engaging an architect. You understand? You don't just go and pick up bricklayer from the street and say you are building a house. So that's what a lot of businesses do. What I advise businesses to do, especially now in Nigeria, there are a lot of very good firms, small firms, that you can engage professionally. You understand? If you want to build technology, you want to invest in building technology, but they will cost you, but you will get the kind of experience that you need. You understand what I'm saying? I'm happy to recommend some that we've trained, I've worked with, but the critical thing is for you to really make a real decision about whether that thing that you want to build, will it really pay you back, or are you better off just using an existing tool to build it? I find a lot of people, you know, for example, even websites. Websites is the funniest one. A lot of people will go look for a developer to build a website for them. But do you know that with a little bit of, you know, patience and maybe finding the right people, you can build a website on Wix, you can build a website on WordPress, and there will be fine websites. You buy a team, you amend it, there will be fine websites, they'll have your thing on it. It will cost you a lot less than trying to get a developer to build you a website from scratch. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And you can go on the freelance platforms and you can do that. So sometimes it's just about, even if you want to go into e-commerce today, you can go on Shopify. Shopify has people that can help you to modify the Shopify shop, integrate new payment platform, so on and so forth. So it's just important for you to understand what you really want to use technology for and what the business case is. My advice is, if you are not building a business where technology is really the center point, don't go and make the investment in hiring a software engineer. You understand? It's not the answer to all ills. It's like now you want to start this webinar. You now say you want to go and hire a software engineer to build Zoom for you. Why not just use the Zoom that is already there instead of going to find an engineer? Because good engineers, like a good doctor, like a good hospital, will cost you money. And there's no getting around that. If you go and look for a quack, yeah, you get it at the price that you can afford, but don't complain if it's not the quality you want or you don't have the kind of customer experience you want. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. So that's how I look at those.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, Vivian. Let me quickly step in before you ask him the second question. Hi, everyone. Hi, this is Magnus. There's a comment from one of our attendees, and he wants you to tone down the lights on your background. So beyond sharing your experience and listening, and see your face clearly. So while Iyinolula is doing that, I need all our attendees to be aware. We want to encourage you to go on social media. You all heard Iyinolula this morning. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and put out information about where you are now, what you're doing, and also try and use the hashtag Going Digital Nigeria. And remember to tag any and all of the panelists on this event. I yield back to you, Vivian. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Magnus. So the second question I have is about local software solutions. So we've had
yeah, I'm listening. It's about what? Sorry. Hello.
Local software solutions. We need to be able to have software solutions locally that we can bank on. There are just a few of them, honestly. In fact, I'm not because you're here, but the time when I came across Flutterwave, and the Bata and all the payment and the Paystack. In fact, there was even a GTB person that told us about the Paystack. So while I was going through Paystack, I also saw Flutterwave, the wonderful solutions. I'm like, why can't we just have things like this more locally? Before then, it was a challenge. Payment was a challenge. So you guys, I would say kudos for those products. They are really nice. But the experience we've had with our clients is when you want to deploy like software, like accounting or ERP, they never want any local solutions. And because these local software, they end up giving issues. I don't know why. I don't know why we cannot just get Nigerian, like accounting software now. We need to have credible ones, the ones that work seamlessly that are Nigerian owned, you know, but I don't know how how we can get those things without relying on other bodies outside of Nigeria, foreign companies.
Of Nigeria.
Because
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
regulations.
You know, that's changing. I'll say that's starting to change. You know, a lot of very good, I mean, there's an accounting software. I don't know if you've heard of Accounts here. Let me put it in the chat.
Okay.
They're really good, you know, and they even provide accountants that can provide support to you. But it's starting to change. If you understand what I'm saying, it's starting to change. People are starting to get better at it, at local ERP. There's a new local ERP software platform that we just even looked at. They're called Field Insights, I think they're called. And so there's some good local ones. I think over time, if people look for the right ones, you know, a lot of these companies, though, they are very small. So you have to invest some time to going to find them. You understand? Because they may not have a big marketing budget. You might not be able to find them if you don't do a little bit of research. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you for that. So we'd like to look into the chat box. No other questions.
But ask if you have any. Sorry, if you have any in the future, feel free to just email me and ask me for good websites. You know what I mean?
Yes.
For, you know, that you can use to build out ERP and stuff like that. I'm happy to help.
Okay.
You know, provide some guidance. You understand? So just let me know. I'm happy to help.
So thanks so much. We really appreciate it. So we still expect more questions, but right now I'm going to introduce our second panelist, Mr. Igho. Mr. Igho will take us through tax solutions provided by Lagos State government, and then other things we need to know as taxpayers. What is Lagos State planning for us? What's the outlook during this time of pandemic and beyond it? So, Mr. Igho, please take the floor. Thank you, Ian. We'll still get back to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you.
Hello, Ian. I expect you still be online, just so that in case towards the end there are other questions you may want to field. So you can go off, you can you know, stop your video, but we would love for you to remain online towards the end of the session in case there are other questions. Some of our panelists will be directed. Thank you so much.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah. So I'll be assisting Mr. Igho in sharing the screen. So I'll put up my screen while Mr. Igho prepares to take the stage now.
All right. Good morning or good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I'm happy to be with you. In the first place, I work for Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, and I'm representing the management of Lagos State. So I bring greetings from my executive chairman, Mr. Iyinolula, supposed to be here, but he's so busy. And they asked me to represent the agency. And when we talk about tax, from all Vivian have been saying, she's been talking as if I'm the governor of Lagos State. I am not, or LRS is not the government of Lagos State. We are just an agency to Lagos State government. And I can't talk about tax without letting us know the simple explanation of what it is. It is a contribution by individuals, contribution by organizations, contribution by government agencies, which is used to develop the society and to provide issues, provide amenities, provide services. Because this tax we are talking about is a price of development and civilization that all of us must key into. Otherwise, we might go back to the Stone Age. Because it was Oliver Wetherholmes who said that taxes are what we pay for civilized societies. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Okay. Sorry, I thought I was in the church. Okay. So let me talk to my slide. We're talking about issues on the pandemic, one of those things that I must let us know is that all of us are involved in it, okay? All right, the pandemic has brought about change, and today we are all here talking and discussing from different platforms. If it were not the pandemic, we would have met in a hall and they will all sit down together. So I want to congratulate every one of us because the pandemic did not take us, but we are on top of the pandemic and we are going to reign and continue to excel. Now, my simple advice that I want to give is that as long as you are still running your business, tax is, like I said, what to pay for development, all right? Pandemic or no pandemic. And now in this era of digitalization, we must begin to adapt fast, whatever it is for us to be digitalized, to go online, to keep our records, and to also be internet friendly, okay? Also, we should, as taxpayers, we should know our obligations, okay? Our obligations to the government is very important. You know them. Knowing them means you have to be conversant with what the law says, or you visit any of our tax offices. I heard in talking about quacks, just like you have quacks in other professions. We have a lot of quacks in taxation. In fact, they give us bad names. Don't go to quack, don't go to touts. We have 39 tax stations all over Lagos, and go walk straight to any one of them and let them explain to you what your obligations are if you do not know. That is very important. Okay, you need to know what your obligations are, so you factor them into your business plan as you go on. In your pricings, in your projections, you factor them in. Also, as a businessman, make sure that your business records are properly kept. Keep your books, keep your expenses, keep your income, write your profit and loss. At the end, if you make profit, you pay tax on your profit. If you make a loss, there is no tax on a loss. But we cannot come into your brain to extract all of those things. So everywhere I go, I keep emphasizing, keep your books properly. It will even help you at the end to pay minimum tax. Also, it is important that we are in constant touch with the revenue authority because we are also evolving on day-to-day basis so that you will be able to, we can be in touch with you, especially in this season of pandemic. It is very, very key that we are in touch with you. You know, we talk with you, we are your friends, okay? So that we can actually put this in perspective, all right? Things like when to file your returns, all right? In your office, if there are changes due to the pandemic or you have even changed business line, let us know, inform us, okay? What about your staff payroll? Let's know. Are the present number of staff who were there before the pandemic still there? If not, what is the present status? All right, because everything about tax is about information. Information is our stock in trade, okay? And whatever pending tax issues you have, come to us, talk to us. Please, let us know that the taxman, I'm sure at the end of this presentation, Magnus must show my face so that you can see my face. I'm not Lagbaja. We are all human beings, all right? And we are all feelings. We are all in the same society. We also pay taxes ourselves. So we are your friends. We can help you. Also, now let's talk about the platforms, okay? Within the goal of delighting our customers who are our taxpayers, we have upgraded our e-tax platform, which is called Enterprise Tax Solution Platform, to make sure that everything that you need about tax is there, all right? So our e-tax platform is very key. E-tax platform is what I call a one-stop tax solution to the taxpayer. Some of the modules on that platform are tax returns, taxpayer registration, tax assessment, payment process, tax audit management, audit, and yes, accounts and collection, reports, analytics, and many others. Not only that, we also have the following e-tax support system in place. We have our email, that you can always use to reach us. And I'm sure it's been all right. Okay. Am I still on? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so fine. So I said we also have the following in-tax support system in place. We have the email, so you can always reach us on taxinfo, one word, at lrs.net, or you can reach us on it@lrs.net. They are all in the slides that Magnus is helping me to display. Then we also have the customer care center. So note today, it's not only your MTN or your banks that have customer care center. We have customer care center live. Just that we don't do 24 hours, but during working hours, Monday to Friday, when you call our number 0700-2555-5477, there is somebody to talk with you. And also on our e-tax platform, we have this talk to a chat service application. Above all, we still have 39 tax stations that are interconnected electronically for effective and efficient internal and external communication. So there is no need of pushing files around. You know, Lagos State is the state of excellence. You don't push files around, move from place to place. All our stations, 39 stations all over Lagos, from Ibeju to Lekki to Ekpe to Badagry to Ikorodu to Yanopaja, just name it. And all central Lagos, everywhere, we are interconnected. So there's no need to move files around. This is why in April, when the lockdown was severe, people were still paying taxes. We are still working. And as it is now, we are still working. All right, so to a large extent, without sounding as if one is boastful, we were already waiting for the taxpayers in the digital world before COVID-19 came. All right, now, in terms of the channels that we have for payment, I will explain this. With the aid of our payment process, which is in one of the modules in the e-tax platform, a taxpayer can process payment online. Then a reference bill will be provided and generated. With details of the reference bills, the taxpayer can go and use any of the platforms or payment gateways that we have all over Nigeria. You want to do bank transfer, we are there. You want to use your USSD code, we are there. Internet banking, we have the different designated banks. You are home and dry with us. Using mobile apps, we are the alternative payments, we are the online payment gateways like eTransact, Paga, QPay, QuickTeller, Remitter, we are also there. I will advise that you visit our social media handles because we are also there. We are on Twitter, we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram. And you will see so many information and details of all I've just run through and how to go about them. They are there. Also, we have a very functional and robust website, which I will also refer you to, www.lrs.gov.ng. So, tax payment, I believe, cannot be easier and more convenient during and post-COVID-19 than what we are already experiencing in LIRS. All right, the issue of palliative. Like I said earlier at my opening, we are an agency of Lagos State government. Our services and operations are as given by the Personal Income Tax Act, Cap P8 laws of the Federation of Nigeria as amended. So we are operating within this law. Within our powers, we have this palliative already in place and running to cushion the effect of taxpayers. Number one, the closing date for filing in of returns used to be 31st of March. That has been extended to 30th of June, 90 full more days added to it, all right? Or prior to this time of extension, if you file in beyond 31st of March, you are entitled to pay fine, but none of such is also done there now for late filing. No fine for late filing in 2020. All right. Should there be other palliatives with regards to the issue of cushioning the effect? We will let you know, but this is where we are at for now. And we also have our public notices that addressed this. Now, talking about other tax palliatives of LRS and state government may allow. Yes, palliatives by the Lagos state government, you know, they are numerous. For example, the food pack to vulnerable residents of Lagos state. When they started initially, some people thought it was a joke until they started giving it out, especially for those who are resident, who are registered. Also, yes, Lagos is the epic center, but with thank God, I used to say it, that not because I'm working for the state government, but if you ask me to nominate my man of the year 2020, it's nobody else than our amiable governor, Mr. Governor himself, Sanwo-Olu. Healthcare, massively supported by Lagos state government, all right? And recently, 11,000 MSMEs, 11,000 MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises who are just giving loan recently, okay? What the government did is suspended repayment of the loan that they obtained. These are all palliatives. And if you know all of these things, they are from the taxpayers' money. Also, indirectly, we will say that it is also from LRS, because most of it. LRS generates about 85% of all the revenue that Lagos State gets every month. Issue of security and safety, so much is being invested. I learned, I don't know how true that one is, that any policeman transferred to Lagos, they don't like leaving Lagos again to any other state because there are a lot of allowances outside the federal government that the state government also gives to them. Not the illegal ones, so I'm talking of something official. Also, like I said, all these are provided by taxpayers' money. All right. Should there be others? We'll begin to talk about that in due course. Now, we're talking about measures or approaches that may be adopted by LRS. Okay. Like I said, we are agencies of government. We are operating on our within our mandate, but we are always there to go the extra mile to satisfy our customers and because we have them in mind. Your interest is you are in our mind, and your interest is uppermost to us. Now, the Finance Act and the team, all right, Section 49 of the Personal Income Tax as amended in the Finance Act of 2019, it makes a provision that it is mandatory for everyone who wants to open a new bank account to have tax identification number. And if you want to continue running your business, you are to get that. Now, that is a law of the federal government, just like the same law, Personal Income Tax Act, that established us. The initiator of this is the Joint Tax Board. All right. So the law has been set. If it is now time for enforcement, we will continue to follow what the law says, but we don't have anything to really say about that right now. Before I round up, let me quickly touch on two other aspects. Expatriates that we are like locked up outside Nigeria. Okay, it is very interesting. What will now happen because of the travel ban? Will they also be taxed? Well, like I told you, it is the law. So permit me to quote what the law says, and I will talk a little bit about entertainment tax, and I'll throw it open for questions. Now, the law about expatriates is under Section 10 of the Employment of the Personal Income Tax Act. So subsection 1 of Section 10 says, the gain or profit from an employment shall be deemed to be derived from Nigeria if the duties of the employment are wholly or partly performed in Nigeria. That was no problem for Nigeria, unless One, so there are three conditions now. Unless, number one, the duties are performed on behalf of an employer who is in a country other than Nigeria, and the remuneration of the employee is not borne by a fixed base of the employer in Nigeria. So if this is an employee, an expatriate who is working in Nigeria, but his salary is being paid from his employer abroad, and all the expenses are taken care of, he will not pay tax. The second one is the employer is not in Nigeria for a period or periods amounting to an aggregate of 183 days, inclusive of annual leave, blah, 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 blah. What that is saying is that the first one is there, salary paid, expenses paid, and, law is saying and, it didn't say or, so which means that is there, and this issue of 183 days. And lastly, the third condition, the remuneration of the employee is liable to tax under the agreement of double taxation treaty. So without wasting time, what we are saying is that, hello, are we together? Hello, I'm running up now.
Yes,
Can I go on?
please go on.
Okay, so just give me a few minutes, like 2 more minutes. So in summary, if these three conditions are not met, there's no way an expatriate will want to be exonerated from paying tax. All right, so it will also be treated like any other employee in Nigeria. Lastly, I will talk briefly about entertainment tax. Now, and there is a difference between entertainment tax and hotel occupancy and restaurant consumption tax. All right, entertainment tax is tax that is imposed on persons who patronize cinemas and film exhibitions. Those are the ones that pay entertainment tax. But for those businesses who are into food, drink sales outlets, event centers, hotels that give out accommodations and feeding and food, short-let apartments, all of these ones, they pay what we call hotel occupancy and restaurant consumption tax. All right, so the two of them, they are not the same thing. Let me stop there. I know some questions might be coming in. Once again, I want to thank VIM Professional Solutions for this opportunity to be able to talk to our people today. God bless you.
Amen. I say amen. Thank you.
Thank you. Make sure you show my face. I'm a human being. I'm not like Baja.
Everybody saw your face as you were presenting simultaneously while your slides.
Oh, that is good. That is good. That is good. So thank you, my people.
So I want to thank you very much, sir, for taking out your time. One thing you didn't say, or we also excluded when we're introducing you, is the meaning of your name.
Igho means money.
Money, exactly. Igho means money, and you are a man with double responsibility. While you work in the tax office, you still have a calling to be a priest. So he's also a pastor. So for our attendees who are
for your
also
information, I am an expatriate because I'm an Urobo man. I've been in Lagos for about 30 years, working for Lagos State government. So I'm an expatriate imported from Delta State.
I hope you're paying tax. I hope you're paying tax to Delta State.
I pay heavily. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
So thank you so much, sir, for the beautiful insights. For our attendees, I just want to quickly add that, as we all know, we've got 36 states plus one federal capital territory, which is Abuja. So Lagos State, or Lagos State Inland Revenue, is one of the state inland revenue.
Internal revenue.
State internal revenue that handles, the personal income tax, withholding tax on transactions with individuals, and other kind of revenue taxes based on the provisions of the law. And LIRS over the years have been in the forefront, and they've been able to take a leap in, bringing in platforms to try and put certain things in place to also bridge the gap. So when Igho was saying prior to COVID-19 that they had already been putting certain things in place, that had always been their modus operandi. So thank you so much, sir, for doing that. And you did mention one thing, and I know So I know there's a question already there, but I just want to ask you one quickly. How do you identify from your perspective as being someone who, because you're high up there at the Inland Revenue Board, how do you identify a fake or quack consultant? So for our audience here today, what are the things they need to be aware of when selecting someone to represent them in the tax office, and to know whether that person is fake or that person is quack? What would be your view to them?
All right. Should I take it now?
Yes, please.
Thank you. This question is very, very apt because I'm also a member of the Charter of Taxation of Nigeria. Like I told you, I'm supposed to be in our AGM right now. Right? We have practicing licenses that are issued by the Institute of Charter of Taxation of Nigeria. So ask the guy, where is your practicing license? That is number one. Then number two, you can also verify from any of our tax stations. If you go to our website, you see the 39 tax stations, and go straight and ask for the station manager. Don't talk to anybody along the road. Say, are you looking for tax office? You are not a blind man. Don't answer that person. Follow the direction, go into the office, you see a receptionist, ask of the manager and talk with the manager. So with these two, it will help, all right? That is what I want to say about that. But let me also say something. I don't want to spoil the business of tax consultants. If you are a small businessman, why waste money to go and get a consultant? Just like what Iyinolula also said, you are not into applications. You are buying all the applications and all the professionals paying for them. No. For small businesses, you don't need any consultant. Walk into us. We will give you guidelines on what to do to easily prepare your book, keep your records, and pay your tax directly. We don't touch cash. If anybody in LRS says bring cash, that person, report the person, go straight to our call center and call. It is a summary dismissal for any tax and any official of LRS that asks for cash to be given. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. There are two questions I want to take in one while prepare for the next and final presentation for today, and is in connection to tax clearance certificate. So one of our attendees have posted in our Q&A platform, and is saying, why is it difficult to get a tax clearance certificate from LIRS? And this same person has also put it up there, Moses Abena, that he applied for TCC since November 2019, but till now he is yet to get it, despite receiving LIRS verification code.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll answer it in two ways. One, what do you need tax clearance certificate for? It's evidence of payment of tax. Now that everything is online, once you pay your tax, you get your receipt generated, and you want to use it for any purpose. That purpose is done. That's number one. Then number two, as I speak, we have carton loads of ETCC cards that have been generated, and we cannot even trace the owners. You know, Nigerians, maybe they've changed the telephone number that they used to register, or they've changed the address that they've used to register, all right? But I'm not holding brief. Any of such people that have such challenges, send them my email. Let them meet me up in the head office. Whatever their issues, we will sort it out for them, all right? Then thirdly, you know, we have a sister company, ABC, that also that generates this. We work together. But the ideal thing is that if the forms are properly filled and you submit it within 72 hours, you will get. But outside that, if you have issues, like I said, we have so many of them we have not been able to sort out. Let us know, and you can also you don't even need to send me an email. Go call our call centers and explain to them or chat to them. We will get this thing resolved. We are also evolving. We are not there yet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And we know you've been speaking on for the last 20 minutes, so we'll try and give you a little time to breathe while we take the third and final presentation. Before, there are several questions still popping up, but we'd like to take the third and final presentation for today. Then we'll then move fully into the questions and answer session. So, Mr. Igho, thank you so much, but we'd still like for you to stay online.
15-20 minutes.
Sorry?
15-20 minutes.
Yes, so you still be online more for another 15-20 minutes. so that you can take a couple of questions you still need to fill, but we would like to get the final presentation out of the way. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Igho. Thank you, Magnus. So we are moving on to the third part of the webinar, which is on Xero accounting, how to put your business on the cloud. So unfortunately, Marcus is yet to come up. I'm just going to go ahead and share what he was supposed to share. I'm going to share my screen now. It's about putting your business on the cloud and the advantages of having a good accounting software and the numbers to help you run your business. So putting your business on the cloud, we're going to make this presentation because we're also certified advisors to Xero, and we help businesses to use Xero to automate their finance function. We also help businesses with their accounting and bookkeeping and tax, and in interpreting the numbers and data that are coming through from the accounting reports. So we have all it takes to also take this presentation on Xero. In the absence of Marcus, we apologize on their behalf. They have also apologized for the delays in getting back to us. So we'll just move ahead. So why accounting software? What's the need? When we say putting your business on the cloud, we're talking about the finance processes. Put it in the cloud. And why finance processes? Why accounting software? Because finance, business is about the numbers, is about the money, inflow, outflow, expenses, income, assets, liabilities, like I explained earlier. Also, as Iyinolula explained earlier, we talk about data, numbers. What are your business numbers, and what are your interpretations of it? How are you using it to grow, to run and grow the business? As Mr. Igho also said, the tax, and they need to keep proper accounting record, because that is what the business is about. It's from the accounting numbers and the financial reports that you draw conclusions, you draw information to do a whole lot of things, almost everything about your business. So if you're able to automate your accounting and finance process, you're halfway through running an effective business. And why do you need to automate or digitize? For ease of use. And then you're not an expert, you're not an accountant. You didn't go into business to do accounting, unless you're like us who are consultants. So you need someone who has already done an automated system for you. Use a third-party app, just like E also recommended, so that you can concentrate on your core business. So by the time you're using a good accounting software to do your accounting, you're able to do it correctly like an accountant and as recommended by the accounting standards without having to know anything about accounting. So then your numbers will be reliable. You have controls in place because this software are developed by accountants, teams of accountants and auditors who have gone through, who practice accounting in organizations and who know what controls need to be in place. So when you're using a good accounting software, you may not necessarily need to find someone to help you to design your internal controls, because by the time you're going through the processes of putting transactions in the software, it guides you through the controls already built in. So, and then you have the speed of processing, accessibility, security, effectiveness all around, because you are able to open your mobile phone or any internet-enabled device to check your numbers, check how you're doing, to send message, to send files, to capture your receipts on the go. So many things that you don't need to waste. It's just like, I don't know, someone using mortar to pound something. It's better to use a blender and get it done with. That's just what automation and technology does for us. So why cloud accounting? Why cloud? People have asked the question, do I need cloud? Is it secure? Or do I need an accounting software that is offline? For us here, we prefer the cloud-based systems because number one, it's accessible anywhere. During the COVID-19, during the lockdown period, a lot of people would not go to their places of business. So, but you still sell. So if you're able to sell online and you have an accounting software that is cloud-based, or you need to tidy up your numbers during the lockdown, like several people also did through us. Is accessible from anywhere, from your home, from your internet-enabled device. And then the infrastructure for installing an offline or on-site system is quite huge. And you need the network engineers, you need the software engineers, you need a whole lot of people on the team to be able to see that these things work well. You need a dedicated IP address if you want to do some things online at some point. So easy infrastructure for cloud accounting. Then ease of maintenance. You're not even the one maintaining, you just pay your subscription every month and they do everything for you. All you need to do is put your data there, run your transactions from there, and you're good to go. If you need help, you can contact your accountant directly from there, or either the external accountant or the auditor or the internal accountant or any of your team members on the software. Then you can share files as well. Then you have security on the cloud, because the good accounting software that are on the cloud, they have strong security systems like data encryption, like restricted access to users, or user access control, like two-factor authentication. I'll run through that later. Then you sync your data with mobile app. The cloud accounting software, they have mobile app versions, so you can use it on the mobile phone. It is easy to set up. You can set up, for instance, you can set up Xero within 2 or 3 hours, even less, if you have all the information you need to put there. You set it up and then you just learn how to use it. Everything can happen in less than 8 hours of work in a day and you're good to go. Then it's much less expensive. You just pay every month for this one, for the Xero. Other cloud accounting software, you pay once a year, but the cost is also less expensive than when you're dealing with an on-site full infrastructure accounting system. Then you never lose your financial data as they are backed up in the cloud. You don't get to lose your financial data. They are all there in the cloud. And if you lose your laptop or your mobile phone or anywhere you stored something, you can go online to retrieve it. You can log it in and you see your data there. So why Xero? So we're going to just play 2 short videos, 2-minute videos, so that we can see what the Xero looks like before I continue the presentation, and a bit of the functionalities. Please stay with me. Okay, so this one is the introduction to Xero, small business accounting software. You should play in a bit. Internet, slow internet. I wanted to play a short intro to Xero, and then on the cloud, and then on the mobile app. So, but we're still going to go ahead to talk about Xero stands out. First, is used by 2 million businesses world over, small businesses, and then we've experienced accounting software, those ones that are of higher version, even ERP that we had to go through some years back in the process of being able to do consulting in the area of accounting technology. And we've seen several of them, and we've come across Xero, and we know that all the features of the high-end accounting software, Xero has it. It's like it has almost everything for any business. If you run any kind of business and you're small and medium, or even some large businesses that do less than 2,000 transactions in a month, it has all the features, like all the controls. You have the IFRS financial statement. You even have notes to the account. It has best bank reconciliation platform. Other small business software, they do bank reconciliation, but it's not, in fact, when you look, if you were an accountant and you were seeing it from our own view, you will know that those ones, is like 10% of this, the uniqueness or the correctness of Xero's bank reconciliation. You can hardly make any mistake or let any error or fraud slide through with Xero's bank reconciliation. And it's just the standard format, not like other small business accounting software that we've seen. It has chart of accounts that you can use for any industry. It has templates of chart of accounts, so you don't need to set up ledgers. There's lots of things, and it's very easy to use. The interface is very clean, simple to use and understand, very interactive. There's no page that you go over that you don't see a video in Xero on how to do this. If you want to raise an invoice, if you want to do bank reconciliation, if you want to capture a bill to supply, if you want to do stock counting, a whole lot of videos, that demo videos, short demo videos on each of the pages when you log in to use it. And you can try Xero for free for 30 days. It's just xero.com. You just go there, log in for free. You don't need any credit or debit card details or financial details to try it for 30 days. You see the interface is very simple, very clean, very beautiful. Let me just say beautiful and easy for anybody that is not an accountant to use. And even the accountant, very easy to navigate. And it's very secure. You have this two-factor authentication that allows you to, when you're logging on, you have to also get a code from the software to your mobile phone or to your alternative email address. In addition to your password, you have to use that code, just like when you're logging into your Yahoo Mail, or if you're an app developer on your Google Store or your iOS Store. Then you also have you can use it for multi-store, multi-project. You can use it to communicate, share files with your auditors, with your accountants. So even if you're locked down, you can share files with your team easily. Then it has loads of learning resources on how to run a business, loads of demo videos you can find on their website. It teaches you digital marketing, it teaches you accounting, it teaches you a whole lot of things, control processes. You have e-learning that you do there, a whole lot of feature-packed resources on Xero, and it has over 700 existing third-party apps that allows you to plug and play. Like if you're into running a restaurant, Xero is the accounting software, but you also have apps that will just take care of your meal and recipes and orders from Xero, and it connects easily to Shopify, which is an e-commerce platform. So if you're selling online, Shopify is doing the front end selling for you, while Xero is capturing the accounting from the back end. Then if you're running a hospital, the same thing happens. You have a hospital application, several of them that you can plug and play to Xero. So while you take your patient information, if you're running a practice with several doctors, you can also schedule visitation, consultations online. And when you're doing all that, which is digitizing your consultation and hospital procedures, prescriptions for medicine is there. When you do that, Xero is also at the back end doing the accounting for you. So, and several others, so many industries, manufacturing, the same thing, retail, even better. You have retail point of sale software that will just plug and play to Xero and you're good to go. Then on its own, if you're doing retail, on its own, it can serve you. Any trading business or any service business, it can serve you. Then it also has, if you don't find an app that can plug and play to Xero on their app store to be able to power your business, maybe because of its uniqueness. For instance, we had one, there's one wallet, because the company that is just coming into Nigeria deals with wallet payment system, and it needs Xero to connect with its own unique API to their system, so that when their customers are using the wallet system, the financial data will be spooling through to Xero, because we're talking about thousands of financial data by the time people start using the wallet system. So if you have such a peculiar situation, you can use Xero's API to even connect to your own system and you're good to go. And then all upgrades are free and it's cloud-based. Then what's the uniqueness of Xero to assist businesses in a pandemic period like this? You have your financial information and sensitive files. You can upload them up there in the cloud. They are not in your office. So even if there is lockdown or there is theft, nobody can still, even if they steal it, you still have all the copies that you've uploaded online to your accounting software. Then it's accessible, it's handy. So you can always go in there, do your accounting, check your numbers, have an accountant. Hello? I hope I'm still audible. Okay.
Yes, you're audible.
So if you have an accountant that is doing the numbers for you, you can always log in and check what's happening, upload your bank statements on the go, check it, whether there is lockdown or not from anywhere. Then you have efficiency in business processes for cost reduction and revenue increase. When you look at your dashboard, you're able to see how much of cash flow you have. You're able to calculate which customer am I owing, which is owing me, and which creditor or supplier am I still owing this time of COVID-19. You can even communicate with them, watch trends from there, see what your customers are up to, what are they buying more, which of the my stock are they buying more, which of my goods are they buying more, which of the services, you check your projects, which one is making a loss or not, how is it going, a whole lot of things that you can check, and from there you get the numbers to be able to run the business more effectively, strategize, even in this pandemic that every single day or week something comes up. So you also need to position your business better. And if you have the numbers in front of you, it will help you a lot. Then ability to communicate with anyone. Xero has unlimited user license. So it's not like you're going to subscribe and they'll tell you is 1 or 2 user, just you and your accountant, like any other accounting software. This one has unlimited user license. So all your team members can use it. You restrict their access and their role. So if you need someone to just be invoicing, fine. If you need another person to just do the bank reconciliation, you can set it up. You can talk, share files with them, with your accountant, with your team members, with your auditors, anybody, even your your workers can do expense claim. And then the rates are affordable because for the cost is affordable. The subscription is paid monthly. So you can spread it and enables you to manage cash flow. So it's not like you break your back because you want to use an accounting software. So Xero works for all businesses, all small and medium-sized businesses. I've talked about it. On standalone, it can work for any trading or service business, but it's not recommended for NGOs. That is the only one that it might not be, because you have specialized accounting for NGOs. So talked about security of then Xero pricing, starter $20 per month. They do have promotions once in a while that you get 50% off the first 3 to 4 months. Then the standard version, $30 per month, so you can send unlimited invoices and quotes, do any transaction, capture news with the camera of your phone, or that is on the HubDoc application within Xero. So you don't have to keep a number of files and documents. The only difference between the standard and the starter is that for the starter version, you can only send 5 invoices and quotes in a month and do 5 bills. But standard, from $30 per month, you can do any unlimited number. Then for premium, you can use multi-currency if business involves multi-currency, you deal in other currencies apart from Naira. So that's the summary about Xero. I wish we had more time to play around Xero, but you can always go and log in to www.xero.com and then do your free trial for 30 days. So you can go through it, watch the demo videos on the website, and get familiar with it. So if you need help to set up your Xero or do your accounting, we use technology from third parties, so we'll also use other software. It's not only Xero that we, but Xero is the major one because that's the best we've seen so far. And we're going to also look into this account here that Iyinolula talked about. If it's good as Xero, we'll also, any ERP or accounting software, they basically have the same functionality. So we can help you with when you need to set up or automate your accounting system. So that's just it. Thank you so much. We're now going to other questions that just came in.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vivian. Sorry, all the attendees, he had to step out. So he's offered that any question directed at him, we can collect, send to him. He would respond back to us in writing, and we can then drop this to all the attendees because we've got all your email addresses. But we've still got the Director of Personal Income Tax, Orienru, online. So we will now move straight into the questions. So let's take all the relevant questions for the LIRS, then we can then take all the other questions as they arrive. Igho, are you still there, sir?
Yes, sir. Your Royal Majesty.
So you are now on the hot seat, but I want to assure you that we're
no problem. There's enough
your
AC.
time starts now.
All right. So go ahead.
All right. So one of the questions here is, and I'm reading straight. So one of the attendees posted it and he posted it as anonymous. He says, please, what is the importance of having an extension of due date for filing tax from 31st March to 30th June if there will not be a fine for late penalty? That is when, as well as tax for 2019 in October. So I might as well file tax for 2019 in October 2020 without having to worry about penalty. So I've just tried to summarize it.
Should I
so the question
that, or I want to take, should I take all of them at the same time or I answer that?
No, you can, let's just make it interactive so you can answer it quickly. Let's make it brief.
Okay, fine. So the question is straightforward. Taxes are paid regularly and annually. All right. So we have what to call in the tax law, what we call your year of assessment or your tax year. So and the law made it very clear that you must file in your returns. Then when you file in your returns, we will be able to now calculate and assess. Then there is a period you will now close that in readiness for the next year. So if we leave it perpetually, it will muddle things up and it will not give room for proper accountability. So it cannot be muddled up. That it is even extended is the first time in history, just like COVID-19 is the first time in 100 years. So it cannot be extended due to muddling up of records and due to improper accountability. Thank you.
All right. So the second question is from a senior colleague of my university alumni here. I can see his name clearly. And he says, we have this issue, Isaac Osunde.
Okay,
Isaac Osunde. He says, we have this issue of after filing your tax for the year, the tax authority comes back to you with an extra tax above what is declared for no just cause. So basically from experience, when they conduct an audit, you file your tax correctly, they come back, they increase the tax liability or demand notice for what have you. They says this they do, assuming that everyone is under declaring income tax. And this is very disturbing, considering that most people have correctly declared what they've done. So what's your view on that, sir?
Okay, Brother Isaac, don't be too angry. Please forgive my colleagues. Right? Now, I told you earlier that information is what we thrive on. All right? In as much as I'm not giving any exoneration, but there are processes in the tax laws that says if a taxpayer has been assessed to tax and the tax has been paid, but the tax administrator later saw or stumbled on more information that was not used in the previous assessment, if he uses those information and find out that they're supposed to have paid more tax, the law says he can give additional assessment. That is for the tax administrator. But there's also a proviso for the taxpayer. The law also said that if the taxpayer knows beyond all doubt, all reasonable doubt, that he is supposed not to pay what the additional assessment is, then he should bring proof. If he bring the proofs, if he bring the proof, we sit down, we have what we call reconciliation meeting, and we look at what it is, and then we settle it. But if he's still not satisfied, the law says he has 30 days to object. Even after objecting, and we have reconciliation meeting, and you're not satisfied, you can go to the tax appeal tribunal. But remember, he who comes to, how did you say, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. So we have all this laid out, and you can follow through and until you are satisfied. Thank you, sir.
So I'll quickly add for you, sir, and from experience, the LIS or mostly state inland revenue don't do it as a witch hunting exercise.
Yes.
They just want to be assured that there is no money that is for government that is left behind.
Yes, sir.
And what we at EMEA have encouraged our clients to do, if you file self-assessment, yeah, or you are filing when the tax man comes for an audit and you declared correctly what is there, ensure you have proper documentation.
Yes.
You have to ensure you have an extra copy so that when you go into the reconciliation meeting, you are able to bring proof, because the revenue authorities thrive on third-party supporting documentation. So you have to put that proof in place to say this is what you've paid employee A, and this is the employment contract, and this is the relevant supporting document. I think the only worry is that most companies in Nigeria find it a bit difficult to progress any tax audit issue beyond the revenue stage to an arbitration or a tax appeal tribunal. But we'll definitely get there. Most reconciliations do end up resolved amicably. Yeah. So the next question here is, for a company that has been in 15 years with a staff strength of 4, few of them are making personal income tax under direct assessment.
Yeah.
How can the company register for PAYE? I can take that for you, sir. So, Mr. Prince, you need to look, depending on the location where you are based, where your business is based, you need to go and approach the Lagos State Inland Revenue Office in that location. So, like, if you look at the presentation made by Igho, he stated they have 39 LIRS offices. I'll say branches. I'll use the word branches so that, because there's the head office in Alausa, then you have 39 other stations. So look for the closest Lagos State Internal Revenue tax station, as it is called, that is closer to your place of business. Approach them to register, and once you register, they will give you a T number, and you can then progress the discussion. But if you need further clarification, we can take that offline. I don't know if you're adding anything extra, sir.
Yes, Magnus, I need to add one or two things. He said that the 4 employees are the 4 employees paying tax through direct assessment. I need that clarification.
Few of them, not all of them. Few of them are making personal income tax under direct assessment.
No, Magnus, you know that, you and I know that the law says if you are in a paid employment, you are to pay under payee because it is on current year basis.
Yes.
Direct assessment is only for self-employed, which is on preceding year basis. So you pay on the income you made last year, this year. So we must identify that first. If they are on payee, no matter how many years that they have enrolled, you should not be afraid. We will not do back duty for 15 years. They should go and file in, register properly under payee, and let that be. Then for those who are maybe directors, and maybe let's say non-executive directors, they are the ones that are supposed to go under payee. Together with what you have explained, find the closest tax station to your location, and they will sort you out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think, Vivian, I would so that Mr. Igho can catch his breath a bit. Vivian, I would like for you to take the question. There's another question here from Isaac Osunde. what is the best way as a director of a company to make your annual returns? Now, he didn't specify whether it's annual returns for the individual, the director, or annual returns for the company. So I want for you to give a perspective on both.
Okay. So the best way as a director to make your annual returns, you have two types of annual returns. You have the one that you do as the employer returns, which you do with the whole database of your employees, because as a director, you're also an employee of the company. So by 31st January of every year, you should submit it online. For LRS is online. So just go to etax.lrs.net. If your company already has a tax ID, you should be able to log in there. It's very easy. Download the template for filing and then populate it, upload again and submit. It's very easy. And Lagos State has, I will say kudos to them for doing that. The same thing with your Form A, the one you need to file by 31st March. You go to etax.lrs.net and also download the template and file. That's the easiest way for you to file together with your employees. If you don't have any employees, you just file for the directors alone under the company platform on the LRS etax platform. And for other states outside of Lagos who do not have online platform, but I think most states are already adopting very robust online platforms. You fill the forms. The forms will be available for pickup either on their website, you download it, or you go to any tax office, get it, fill it, and submit your returns. And there's also another question from Xero.
Okay, while I still have...
There's also another, I hope that clarifies it for Isaac, right? Okay. Then there's another question from Charles Anyanwu. He says, why does Xero not offer charges on annual basis for the user? Prefer that if you prefer to pay annually, you can always make the payment to your advisor, because you need a certified advisor to guide you in setting up everything. So if you have one, you make your annual payment through your advisor. We have how we have it with Xero. We have accounts with Xero, and we can always pay in there, and they will debit it as they want, if it's monthly, however they want. So just make your payment through your certified advisor. We can help you with that. You continue to use your Xero while you pay annually, and nobody's going to disturb you further. Okay.
Okay, so I'll come to you. Igho, you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 3 more questions pending for you here. It says, it has been observed that tax payments are not updated in the taxpayer's account. When one checks online, they do not see this payment updated.
I don't seem to understand. With e-tax, that cannot be possible. Maybe he's talking about old records. And like I said, I'm not holding brief. If he has any old records that he feels his tax card was not updated, he should call on us. We have a whole unit, especially in the head office here, where we can handle that. Our BC liaison units, they are up to date. They can handle that. But with e-tax, that cannot happen. Thank you.
Okay, so you can go to www.lirs.gov. I'll post it on the chat box now. So from there, you can interact with the LIRS to get further clarifications in connection to why your tax card hasn't been updated. But like Igho rightly mentioned earlier, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. The next question for you, sir. Are executive directors supposed to be on PAYE?
Good. Good question. Executive director, so that they are working, they are staff, just that they are at the executive level. Yes, they are to be on PAYE. Not only PAYE, If they are also paid dividend, they will pay, that's automatic, they'll pay interest on dividend. And also if they are paid director's fees, they will also pay director's fees. But for the fact that he's receiving salary and is working there on a regular basis, he will be on PAYE for that salary that he's receiving. Thank you.
Okay. Then the last question for you now is why is it that most staff of companies or staff of companies submitting tax returns of their staffs monthly could not get e-tax card? That's the electronic tax clearance certificate for their staff. Most companies have applied 3 years ago, but staff could not get their ETCC.
All right, thank you so much for that. You know, for payee, you have it on, you have the account department or the tax department who liaises between them and head office. Most times, once they file in their Form H1 and their tax projections for the year is done and they are remitting every month, even when we communicate with the representative of such companies, some of them don't even turn up again. That's why I told you we have carton loads of ETCC. So most times it is when of them really needs it that they will now go through their representative and they come. So I will tell that person that he should demand from the representative that I need my tax card, and we will get it sorted out. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Vivian, you can take the last question.
Somebody, how can I be an agent of Xero? If you go to Xero.com, if you are an accountant, because Xero does not do reseller programs, you have to be running an accounting practice for you to become an agent of Xero. If you have an accounting practice and you've practiced for some years and you have a number of staff, because they will ask you the number of staff you have, then you need to apply from their website. If they interview you and they are satisfied that you qualify, they will give you access to their e-learning. You sign some agreements, partnership agreements. It will give you learning, get certified, and then you can start practicing with Xero. Then we have one attendee who is raising hands, Babatunde Oloyede. So Babatunde, please ask your question. Please go ahead and ask your question. Are you there, Babatunde?
So while we're waiting for Babatunde to come up, one of the things Igho did mention, and when he did his presentation, is that he quoted relevant sections of the Personal Income Tax Act. And like you all know, when Vivian also did her intro in connection to personal income tax, and in connection to the introduction to the event, she did mention that VM is a tech-focused tax audit and advisory firm. So what I want to do quickly right now is to play you a video of our tax law app. This tax law app has the relevant section of all the tax laws, and it will enable you as a business to be aware, because like you rightly heard today, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. It's a 2 minutes, 11 seconds video. So just oblige me as you listen to it now. So thank you very much. And in summary, the Tax Law app, also known as the Tax Law Book, is a compendium of all the tax laws in Nigeria. In a mobile app, you can have it on your phone so that if you're going for a meeting, you're in the office, or you need to make relevant checks or confirm certain provisions of the relevant laws, all the laws, personal income tax, VAT, withholding tax, PIT, what have you, all of them are all there, inclusive of some treaties, circulars from the Lagos State Inland Revenue, FIRS, and all other relevant state inland revenues. All of them are there. And the app has also been updated with the new changes from the Finance Act 2019. So we want to encourage all participants to please go online. If you use an iOS phone, go to the iOS store, check it out. If you use an Android phone, go to the Google Play Store and download the app. There's an in-app purchase of about 7,200 for you to be able to view the relevant tax laws, so you can have them, at the palm of your hand. So thank you very much. I yield back to Vivian to take any other last few questions and then conclude the session for today. Have a nice day, people.
Thank you, Magnus. We're actually beyond the budgeted time for this event. We were supposed to end latest by 1:30. It's almost 2 o'clock, but we thank everyone for their patience, especially Mr. Igho for still being here with us. So the one attendee is raising hand. I will allow you to talk, Charles Anyanwu. But before then, let me just quickly answer these questions about tax. For self-assessment, Prince Chinomso Epo is asking if you have 3 staff and you're running a non-corporated business, a sole proprietorship, but are they going to pay tax on PAYE on direct assessment? No. If you run a business that is a business name, all your staff, it's only the owners, the proprietors of the business that will do direct assessment. All your staff will pay PAYE, so you pay for them every month. Then Isaac is asking, I don't know what your experience is, Isaac, but you might still need to consult either the tax office or your consultant so that these issues can be resolved. He's saying that after paying income as the director, Yoko has to pay based on director's emoluments. If you don't have any other emoluments outside of it, your bank statement, your accounting records should be able to tell. So once you provide it, I think it will be sorted out. And if the tax officer you're dealing with is not being reasonable, or not, you've shown everything and you're sure you're correct, please go to the next level. Go to head office, go and write a petition there that your issues can be resolved. Then we also have, just to note, we also have recorded tax payments.
It's email.
Yeah. Charles, please, I will allow you to talk in a minute.
Okay, good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon.
Okay, I just want to know the license fee to the app. Is it on annual basis or a lifetime?
It's on to the tax is lifetime. To the tax law app is lifetime. Once you pay once, it covers you. You don't have to pay.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, so we
okay, that's what I want to know.
Thank you, Charles. So for people who still have challenges about one tax issue or the other, we have tax trainings that we have done that are recorded. So if you need tax training on VAT, value-added tax, company income tax, personal income tax, and PAYE, or tax training on the changes in the Finance Act and what FIRS has said about them, you can send us email and we will give you access, but it's for a fee. Our recorded tax trainings are for a token fee. So we'll give you link and access to download and watch the training as you want. So you send an email to clients, CLIENTS. I'll just post it on the chat room. Clients at vmi-m.com. So just send us email there with your phone number, name, and the topic of training that you want. And we'll give you access after payment just token fees, and you can access our recorded trainings. So we're going to close now, and we thank everyone for making our time to join us. Next, we're going to be talking about e-commerce outlook. We're going to have people talking on websites and then how to receive payments online from Paystack, and we'll have topics on Shopify and how it works. Another company will give us that provides platform to host your website will also come on board, and we're also contacting other panelists locally, and we hope to get feedback later today. So we'll get through the information on the panelists for next week, but that's the topic: e-commerce outlook and how to go online and sell everywhere. So we do hope you join us again by next week, and then the upper when we talk about going online, going digital retail. So we'll be doing it every week until we've covered practically all industries and all business processes and several software that you can use to power your business in these sectors. So thank you so much for being with us, for attending, for sharing time with us. Prince Chinonso, please send email. We will share the link after the email has been sent to us concerning the phone number, the name of tax training that you want. Send it to clients@bm.com, or any other further questions you may have. Please send to clients@bm and we'll respond with an answer. For the tax trainings, they are not for free. We charge for them. So we're going to take it up from there once you send us your request. So thank you so much, everyone. We're really glad to.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. I don't know if Igho has any closing words before he signs off.
Magnus, please hold on. So want to thank Mr. Iyinolula Aboyeji for coming. Want to thank Mr. Igho for coming and being on till now. Want to thank all our attendees out there, and all those who also registered who could not come up today, because there's quite a number of registrations we received as compared to what we're seeing today. So, but we thank everyone, and I will now leave the floor for Mr. Igho to also say his final goodbyes and concluding words.
My concluding word is very simple. Life is fluid, so you flow along with the change. Whatever it is, stay safe, but most especially, stay positive and continue to plan and live your dreams. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Magnus, do you have any concluding words for us?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So then we'll say goodbye.
So concluding what along the lines of what Mr. Igho said.
Okay.
So I also want to thank all the panelists, Mr. Igho especially, Ini as well, for joining this debut session. We want to support as many businesses as possible in the Nigerian business landscape. So follow us on all our social media platforms. Tune in next week at 12 o'clock for the e-commerce outlook in Nigeria. We've got exciting panelists also willing to join. As Igho says, everyone is being hit by this pandemic, so don't feel you are left alone. But the only thing you need to do is just stay positive. Thank you and have a good day.
God bless you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.